Welcome back to Simply Southern. It's time for another Rural Roundup of agricultural news from here in Alabama. July began with a welcome sight for some Alabama farmers, rain. And it's been sorely needed across the state, and more would be welcome. At the end of June, nearly half of the counties in Alabama reported areas of moderate drought, and 3/4 of the state was abnormally dry. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Crop Progress and Condition Report, farmers who haven't gotten the rainfall they need are reporting poor stands of row crops, especially corn. The lack of rain has also stunted growth of pastures. That means livestock farmers are having to feed hay, while some even have started to sell animals earlier than they normally would. It's also prevented farmers from getting a good start on their second cuttings of hay. But there is good news in agriculture. So far, 2024 has been a fantastic year for Alabama's peach and blueberry farmers. Thankfully, there were no devastating late spring freezes like farmers endured in 2023 and 2022. That, along with plenty of winter chill hours, has led to plentiful crops. For comparison, Chilton County farmer Keith Evans predicted he could harvest about 10 baskets of peaches per tree this year. But in 2023, he only harvested a handful of peaches from those same trees. To read more about this year's peach crop, check out the story Peach Perfect at alphafarmers.org. And to find a peach or blueberry farmer near you, remember to check the database at sweetgrownalabama.org.
It might be summer, but Alabama teachers are still hard at work. Back in June, 75 educators participated in the Alabama Ag in the Classroom Summer Institute in Tuscaloosa. Over 3 days, they learned all kinds of ways they can incorporate agricultural lessons into their curriculum. Attendees enjoyed workshops, but the highlight of the annual event is always the full day of farm tours. Griffin Farms, an agritourism attraction in West Blockton, was just one of the stops the teachers enjoyed.
Touring the farms today has been great. That's real-world experiences I can share with my students. And now as career coach, I get to serve K through 12. So when I do elementary classroom visits, yesterday there were specific lessons on how we can do agriculture-related lessons with the students with step-by-step guides. It's great. I can't wait to do day in the life of a farmer and show them all the different skills that are needed to run a farm, and those skills translate into other careers as well.
Teachers must apply to attend the Alabama AITC Summer Institute. Applications become available in the spring. Be sure to visit alabamaAITC.org for more information. Just 2 weeks after the Alabama AITC Summer Institute, the National Ag in the Classroom Conference took place in Salt Lake City, Utah. Alabama was well represented with 6 attendees, including 4 educators who presented during the conference. Now, around that same time, but on the other side of the country, the Agricultural Leaders for Alabama group, also known as Alpha Leaders, were taking part in their 3rd educational session with a visit to Washington, D.C. This group of Alpha Leaders met a slew of other leaders, including American Farm Bureau Federation President Zippy Duvall of Georgia and House Ag Committee Chair G.T. Thompson of Pennsylvania. This group of Alpha Leaders will meet a few more times before graduating in summer 2025. Coming up next, if you're like me and dessert is your favorite part of any meal, then stick around. Stacy Little of Southern Bite is about to share his recipe for lemon cream pie. And it's a delightfully light and delicious dessert you just have to try for yourself.
Did you ever have a secret family recipe that was so good people told you to bottle it and sell it? Maybe you just need some help getting started. Today we are in Brittle Heaven to learn how a small business owner has made her dreams reality with the help of Alabama Extension. Come along as we discover more. Sarah Deese said she never saw herself in business selling peanut brittle, but when medical expenses for her ill son began to pile up, she leaned on a family tradition to help cover growing expenses.
Whenever I was a young girl, my mother and I would make brittle and give it away as Christmas gifts, and everybody loved it, and they always would say, y'all need to sell this, and we never took it seriously, but all of a sudden that was downloaded in my spirit, so I thought, okay, I'll do that.
Looking for guidance on where to begin, Deese was connected with St. Clair County Extension Coordinator Leanne Clark and Regional Agent Angela Treadaway, and a partnership was born.
I got my cottage sauce certificate. I started selling it at farmers markets and any local markets that I could find.
As word spread and demand grew for her brittle and other sweet treats, Deese knew establishing her own business was a logical next step. Treadaway agreed.
She wanted to expand and do a little bit more with expanding, and I said, well, if you're going to do more than just the brittle, you're going to need to do ServSafe.
Soon after Deese became certified, Brittle Heaven was born.
Some people call it quaint, some people call it homey, you know, like they walk in and say, oh, this is just like my mama's kitchen or my grandma's kitchen, and it makes me feel good because that's the way I want them to feel. It's like their home.
That is wonderful that she's able to do that and was able to provide for her family. And that's what, to me, Extension is there for, is to help people to learn to do that kind of stuff.
There's no way I could do what I'm doing now if I hadn't had the encouragement and the guidance from the Alabama Extension office.
What we eat, what we wear. It all starts somewhere. And if it's good, it usually starts with a farmer. And that somewhere is right here in Alabama. In a field, in a barn, on a tractor. Right now, there's a farmer starting something good for all of us. And it all starts right here in Alabama.
For more Simply Southern, follow us on social media. And while you're online, visit our website, simplysouthern.tv.net. Simply Southern continues in a moment.
Buying from local farms has turned healthy eating into an adventure for the kids.
Beef tastes even better when you know the farmers who raise it. I love a good steak, and it's nice knowing that our local ranchers are helping our environment.
I do like a little honey in my tea. Keeping my money in the local economy by buying from Alabama farmers makes it taste even sweeter.
Bring the farm to your home. Discover what's growing near you at sweetgrownalabama.org.